a local woman says her apartment is making her sick. She lives at Springhouse Apartments and blames black mold. Denise Jefferson took her complaints to apartment management.
It's atrocious. It's mind-boggling. It's shocking.
Black mold. That's what Melissa Kilgore says she's been living with for months. You can see the mold in different parts of her apartment, from the ceiling to the vent to the baseboards.
You look down in there, you can see it growing up. All of that. You see it all the way down in the carpet. It looks like fuzz, but it's not. It's mold.
She says it's making her sick. She's dealt with fatigue, skin issues, and even lost her hair.
Now all the nights of not being able to sleep or throwing up or just not being able to eat or my hair just disappearing, it's been a lot.
She says she feels the management team has been slow to respond to the issue, but simply moving out isn't easy.
I can't afford to just up and leave. Like, I have a lot invested in all my furniture, my belongings, and now like the spores from the mold, that's something that's got to be replaced.
We spoke with the property manager for Springhouse Apartments. She says they have been notified of the issue and are sending a team to Kilgore's apartment on Tuesday. Kilgore says she just wants the issue resolved and for no one else to deal with what she's gone through.
Situations like this, I feel like I can be a voice for the people that don't have other options.
In Augusta, Denise Jefferson, WJBF News Channel 6.
Joining us here on the news at 5:30, I'm Madeline Hunt. A Pooler resident is battling mold and water leaks in his apartment. He says he's been receiving little to no help from management. WTOC's Jasmine Butler went firsthand to take a look at his apartment.
All my socks are messed up because I have to walk across a wet carpet. I cannot walk through my house without shoes on. I can't enjoy my own house.
Wayne Delaney says the issue started with leaks from his ceiling, leaving this area of his home soaked in water and mold in his apartment.
Oh my God, walking there, you can smell the mildew.
The mold issue, something we've gotten calls about from homes all across our area. A local doctor says mold is not safe to live with, especially heading into the summer.
As it gets hotter and more humid as the summer progresses, anyone living in that situation is likely to get sick.
He says he's had issues from his bathroom to a broken dishwasher that he says hasn't worked since he's lived here, all left unresolved for months.
They keep asking me for money and I keep paying this money, but nothing's done.
I called the management here at the apartment to see what was being done, and later received this statement from the company that owns the apartment. It says, in part, once we were alerted that a tenant observed organic growth inside their unit caused by the water heater closet in the unit above, our team took action to resolve the issue and ensure the safety of our tenants. We expect the issue to be resolved swiftly, and tenants can be assured that in the interim that the property conditions remain safe. What do you want out of this?
I want my apartment to be worth the money that I'm paying for, as well as I want to be compensated for the 10-12 months that I've been paying, dealing with the water bugs floating around in here, the broken dishwasher, the leaking roof, the mold in the bathroom, the mold in the closet. You smell the mold. It's terrible.
I'm continuing to reach out about next steps and what can be done for this tenant. We'll continue to keep you updated on air and online at WTOC.com. In Pooler, Jasmine Butler, WTOC News.
A new law gives more.
A North Las Vegas family's fight to live in safer environment continues. It's an update to a story that we first brought you here last week, showing black mold issue at the Rose Garden townhomes. Victoria Saha went back there today only to find that management has not lived up to their promise they told us last week.
Denise, we went back there today because Shaquia Armstrong, one of the many residents living in these unsafe conditions, was supposed to check out of the hotel that management put her in while they claimed they were fixing the mold issue. So we went back there to see if there was any progress. Shaquia Armstrong was supposed to be moving into her new temporary unit at Rose Garden.
I found the same exact thing that was in my unit. Mold.
So instead, everything is being unloaded from the moving truck back into her old unit.
They're all molded, they're all infested, they're all leaking, plumbing issues, air vent issues.
Management put Armstrong in a hotel from May 5th until May 9th so they can fix the black mold issue in her old unit. But as we went to inspect, there was no sign of any work done.
Asbestos still all in the wall, up and down. Mold all around the outside. Nothing's changed.
While we were out there, several residents surrounded us to tell us their horrific living condition. When we first reported the story last week, Fairstead, a company out of New York that owns the complex, said they expected all mold to be removed this week. They also said they put a regional manager and a facilities manager on site full-time to address this. So we went to the leasing office to ask why Armstrong still does not have a mold-free apartment. Are you guys going to give her a new unit?
No comment, ma'am.
Or why was it okay for her to be put in a unit with mold again? This was a situation she was trying to avoid. Staff refused to answer. I was told there's a full-time regional facilities manager and a manager on site to discuss this for residents.
Never.
That was a resident nearby who also says she's been dealing with this for years. We were told there's a regional facilities manager as well on site, full-time, to discuss these issues.
On our site? Who told you that?
New York did, in our office, Fairstead.
It's just us here.
Something has to give. We can't keep staying here. We can't keep doing this.
I've been in contact with the Fairstead company. They told me they would have an update on the work being done. I reached out again after visiting the complex, asking for that update and sharing that we didn't find a facilities manager on site like they promised. I'm still waiting for them to explain themselves. As for Armstrong, she has to go back to the hotel for the next few days. Denise?
A Somerville family says they left their last apartment because of a persistent mold issue.
Melissa Rademacher talked to them about their experience, a lawyer about the situation, and she also tried to get some answers from the managers at that complex.
My anxiety was just through the roof every day being in that apartment.
The McCullough family of 5 moved into the Latitude at Westcott in the fall, but less than 6 months later, they were moving out. About 1 week into their stay, Brianna McCullough says she noticed what looked like mold.
I know how serious mold is, and especially when my daughter started to get sick and, we were doing doctors and antibiotics.
She says she first sent an email to management in October asking for maintenance, but the problem persisted into January. After noticing the family coughing at a February doctor's appointment, they put the pieces together. The doctor's notes say to get tested for mold poisoning and to move out.
The first thing she said was immediately, you need to get out. The only way you're going to start feeling better and, healing from this is removing yourself from the mold.
So a big thing that I think that all tenants should know in South Carolina is just to make sure to document any issues you're having. The more evidence you have of a problem, the easier it is to get it resolved, even if it does require court action.
The McCulloughs shared photos of the apartment, emails to management, and the doctor's note.
We definitely were getting more and more frustrated, and that's why kind of at the end of it, now that they've, are tacking on all this stuff to us that they want us to pay, it's like we're beyond frustrated and angry.
As long as you send that written notice, there is a remedy for tenants where they can legally break the lease and should not be charged a lease break fee, even if their lease mentions it, because the landlord is failing in their obligation under the law.
The McCulloughs say they worry about people who may move into their old unit. For now, they are getting tested for mold poisoning soon and are working with a lawyer. In Somerville, Melissa Rademacher, Live 5 News.